without thinking twice. And I knew it would catch up, and that we would be the ones left behind. The stories I've been told, they never seem to leave my mind. And this road that I am on, I gotta stay here for some time. Time is gone and I grew up. I somehow made it through without losing sight. And I still wonder where you are, and if you found a way out from the dark. The stories I've been told, they never seem to leave my mind. And this road that I am on, I gotta stay here for some time. Bruises, they come and they go, and we have to try and keep up, 'cause this life's so much more. If you found a way out, come seek me out.
I did a lot of bad things, and never did I give in. Just 'cause the thought of being vulnerable made me feel less than I am. I have never felt home till you entered my door. And from that moment I knew that a home is whatever you choose. That's the thing about you. The best thing I did, and I want you to know, was letting you in. From that moment I knew that you were all I missed. Baby, it took just one kiss. 'Cause here in your arms I can finally let go. The rest of the world is outside when you make sure I'm all you missed. Baby,
Hello, good morning. So we will discuss the last remaining topics, no? That will cover our pre-finals, prelim gali. So we will continue our discussion with our module 2. That is the Moivre's theorem. I think we cut this topic, no, because of the intermittent connection last time. So just close my music. Ayan, sige. So it states here, no, that for any complex raised to the nth power, I will just put off my video para ayan. So it states that for any complex number raised to the nth power, that outcomes will be equal to another complex number with magnitude equal to the original complex number's magnitude raised to the nth power and the argument equal to the original complex number's argument multiplied by m. So ito yung parang yung magnitude niya. Let's say we have cosine m theta plus j sine m theta. So this is in rectangular form, or this is in trigonometric form, di ba? That is CGS. So your magnitude here is m. So pwede mo ni siya mahimo as your power, or this will be your exponent na. Okay? So the same na sila. So yung exponent mo dito, pwede mo siya mahimo nga magnitude, no? Or anong hambal dire? So the outcomes will be equal to another complex number with magnitude equal to the original complex number's magnitude. So equal lang yung, the same pa rin yung magnitude niya, pero magre-raise tayo. So i-raise natin siya sa mth power, kung ano yung mth power niya mismo. Okay, so we will discuss the examples here. So take note that m here is any real number. So hindi siya imaginary number. So meaning it is a positive integer, no? So example, so show that cosine 2 theta is equal to 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. Okay. So i-prove natin yung cosine 2 theta equal daw sa 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. And sine 2 theta is equal to 2 sine theta square root of 1 minus sine squared theta. So i-prove natin to using the Moivre's theorem. So review niyo yung trigonometric identities nyo. So here we use the double angle formula. Ito. Use the double angle formula, then same din dito. So ano yung first natin dito? So first we expand the right side. So this is, we have cosine 2 theta plus j sine 2 theta, which is equal to cosine theta plus j sine theta squared. Okay, so expand natin siya. So this results to, ito yung i-expand natin. Okay, so kung i-expand natin siya, it will be cosine squared theta plus j2 sine theta cosine theta plus j sine theta quantity squared. But yung j squared mo dito is negative 1. So transpose natin, combine the like terms. So ito yung real part natin, ito yung imaginary part natin. So ito yung imaginary part, ito yung remaining part na kinombine natin. Ito magiging negative na to eh, negative sine squared theta. So ito siya, negative sine squared theta. But cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta is equal to ito. Okay, so pagdating dito, we use the double angle formula. That is cosine squared theta is equal to 1 minus sine squared theta. Okay, so this is the double angle formula here with your trigonometric identities. And here, substitute natin. So, sinubstitute natin yung cosine squared theta using this one. Now, you will have 1 minus sine squared theta minus sine squared theta. Or, simplify natin, that will be your answer. The 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. So, this proves that cosine 2 theta is equal to 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. So, correcto. But how about this one? Okay, so with the same method, no? So, that is sine 2 theta is equal to 2 sine theta cosine theta. So, that is using the trigonometric identities again. So, ito, in-square lang natin both sides, no? So, this is cosine squared theta, di ba? So, equal to 1 minus sine squared theta. Okay, so square natin both sides. We get the cosine theta is equal to square root of 1 minus sine squared theta. Okay, we square root both sides. So, ito matanggal to. So, matitira na lang is cosine theta. Tapos, yung matira dito is square root of 1 minus sine squared theta. And then, it proves that sine 2 theta is equal to sine 2 sine theta square root of 1 minus sine squared. Okay, so here, we use the theorem number 2, no, of complex numbers. So, we let cosine 2 theta as our x. Okay, so next example, tingnan natin. About this one. So, gagawin natin dito is expand muna natin yung mga terms na to. Meron tayong cosine 2 theta plus j sine 2 theta squared. So, expand natin siya. Okay. So, bakit naging 2 dito? So, we use here the De Moivre's theorem na, no? The De Moivre's theorem. That is your, yung cosine, yung magnitude mo, gagawin nating power. Okay? So, here, your 2 here will be a quantity squared natin. So, ito na siya. Ito na yung 2 mo. And then, yung original na power niya mismo na exponent, dito siya sa pinakalabas. Okay? Then, simplify natin so that will result to cosine theta plus j sine theta quantity raised to 4. Okay, so, multiply natin. And then, the same with the next term, that is cosine 6 theta. So, yung power mo naman dito will be 6. Ito siya. And then, remain, quantity natin is 2. So, we follow this equation, this formula. Okay? So, ito yung ginamit natin. Pero pabaliktad, di ba? Pag ganyan siya. So, equal na sila. Okay? The same lang. How about this one? So, the same process. So, we have 3 here. Magnitude natin 3. So, we let it as our power. Then, your exponent will just still remain exponent. Okay, so the fourth term, we have the CJS 10 theta. That is cosine 10 theta plus j sine 10 theta. Okay, or that is cosine theta plus j sine theta quantity raised to 10. So, wala siyang naka-enclose na power, so wala rin. Okay, so pero pag meron, ilalagay mo siya dyan sa labas. Then you multiply the power. So then, pwede na natin ma-solve. Simplify natin. Okay, so simplify natin ulit. So ito na yung gagamitin natin for the equation. So we have your 12 here, your 9 sa baba, ito. Then your 10th dito. So anong gagawin natin? So this is in trigonometric form. So if we multiply this one, we just add the exponent, di ba? Ina-add lang natin yung power. So that will become cosine theta plus j sine theta, quantity 16, over cosine theta plus j sine theta, quantity 19. Okay? And then if we divide this one, so pag nagdi-divide naman tayo, sinasubtract natin yung exponent. Di ba? So this will result to cosine theta plus j sine theta, quantity, that is power natin 16 minus 19. So all over by negative 3. Okay, so raised to negative 3 na siya, or i-inverse natin, that will equal to 1 over cosine theta plus j sine theta, quantity raised to 3. So ito na yung answer mo. Pero take note that with use of De Moivre's theorem, babalik natin siya sa dati. So therefore, yung final answer mo talaga is ito. So ito yung magnitude mo, yung 3, babalik mo siya sa magnitude yung exponent. So 1 over cosine 3 theta plus j 3 sine theta. Okay. I think hindi to j 3 sine theta, ano to? J sine 3 dapat. So correct nyo na lang. Typo lang to. J sine 3 theta. Okay, so ito yung ano. Dapat yung magnitude mo is before sa m. So we just follow the this equation. Ito. How about this one? So third example, so evaluate the following by De Moivre's theorem and express the result in polar form. So hindi tayo nagta-trigonometric form dito, but instead the problem wants us to express the result in polar form. So notice that we have here negative 1/2 plus j square root of 3 over 2. Okay, quantity raised to 3. So ito yung problem natin. Ito yung given. Okay, so saan kumuha ng ng 120 degrees? So came from So that is negative 1/2. So kung titingnan natin sa Cartesian plane, what is the equivalent of negative 1/2 radians to degrees? So that is cosine 120 degrees. And for your sine 120 naman, that is equivalent also to square root of 3 over 2. So can you check if this is tama ba? Yung radians natin. Kung convert natin siya into degrees. Okay. So now we will have a cosine 120 degrees plus j sine 120 degrees quantity cube. So ito na yung quantity natin, cube. So ito, kinonvert na natin to This is a rectangular form. So kinonvert natin into polar form. Trigonometric form pala. Kinonvert natin into trigonometric form. Baka magtanong kayo bakit ganito siya. So yung angle natin is 120 degrees. So this is now using the De Moivre's theorem, that is cosine 120 degrees plus j sine 120 degrees quantity raised to cube. So we can simplify this one. Natin. Expand natin. Okay, so we expand it. Let's say cosine 2 times 60 degrees. Okay. And then yung 2 mo here will be your magnitude na. Okay, so it's just the same, yeah. Sa dito, wala tayong magnitude. So we cannot do the De Moivre's theorem without the magnitude here. Pwede naman 1. Di ba? Pero expand natin siya, use the 2. So this is just the same. That is 2 times 60 degrees. That is 120 degrees maghihapon. So the same with the sign. And then we took this 2 as our magnitude to the power. Okay, so ito na siya yung power natin. Then all over by quantity natin by 3. Then multiply natin yung exponent, that is 6. So your answer will be in the Moivre's formula, that is cosine 60 degrees plus j sine 60 degrees. But this is in rectangular form. Okay, so change natin into exponential form. Then we will convert it into polar form. So here, we convert it into exponential form. So this is from trigonometric form. Trigonometric form pala to, no? Hindi pala to rectangular form. So from trigo to exponential. Ito. So that is 1e raised to j pi over 3. Quantity 6, or that is 1e raised to j 2 pi. 2 pi na, that is 6 divided by 3, no? Or 6 pi divided by 3, that is 2 pi na lang. Then, we convert it into polar form. Kasi ito yung hinahanap ng problem. Yung iba sa inyo, shortcut na lang. Pwede naman shortcut lang. Pero much better kung sa exercises ninyo is ilalagay nyo yung step by step. Paano nyo na-convert yan? So, anong ginamit yun ng formula? Yan. Although, meron naman shortcut talaga sa calculator. No? Okay, so you have now your answer, that is one angle of 360 degrees in polar form, where that is equal to 1. Okay. How about here? Sa letter B. So we have, okay, so the same, no? So we have our, so this is in rectangular form. So we convert it into trigonometric form, no? Then we expand natin, then apply the theorem, the Morpheus theorem dito. Ito na siya. And then convert natin into exponential. Then we convert it into polar as a final answer. Yan. So the same lang na process. So sa letter C naman, so the same din. But inano natin, no? So this is your sa labas to. So sineparate natin, so that is 2 raised to 6, so that is 64 na siya. And then we apply the Moivre's theorem here, no? So in expand natin, okay? So that is 1/3, no? So raised to 1/3, or that is pi over 3, or that is your 180 degrees. Okay. So dito wala tayong magnitude dito, di ba? Okay, so wala tayong magnitude, but still we apply the Moivre's theorem here. So pwede naman to ma-expand, di ba? So 2 times 190. Diba? Pwede naman to ma-expand, 2 times 190. So you have your cosine 90 degrees plus j sine 90 degrees, quantity 4. Yan. And so on. Okay, so the same naman din. Okay. Now we go to the next topic, that is logarithm of complex number. So try to review your properties of logarithm, but we will discuss this one. Okay, so we have the natural logarithm of a complex number can be obtained when it is expressed in exponential form. So take note that you can only solve such complex numbers in the natural logarithm if it is in exponential form. Okay. So we have a certain formula that is, I think wala dito sa book. nandito lang sa notes ko. You screenshot na lang or take note of that is ln of r, ln of times ano na, r e raised to theta I. Okay, is equal to ln of r plus ln of e raised to theta I. So parang distributive property siya, di ba? Or this is equal to ln of r, or this is yung magnitude, di ba? Plus theta I. So meaning ln of e raised to theta I is just equal to theta I. So take note lang that your theta here is in radians, hindi siya degree. Okay? Take note lang that our theta here or ang angle here is in radian form, not in degrees. So ito yung equation natin. This g is equals to r e raised to j quantity theta plus 2 pi k. Okay? Or your theta here is just equal to arctan of y over x. So this is from rectangular form into exponential form. Okay? So this will convert into degrees, di ba? Then convert mo siya again into radians. And radians. So we have two types of logarithm, that is common or Briggshian logarithm. So this is our first type, that is common logarithm. Yung notation natin is log, then yung base natin is 10. So for example, we have log base of 10 or log of z base of 10, log z base of 10. And then we have the natural logarithm. So this is the ln. Yung notation natin is ln. Then yung base natin is e, or this is your Euler, no? Or that is log of z base e, which is equivalent to ln of z. Okay? So this logarithm follows the properties, no? So we have here the properties of logarithm. So that is log n base b is equal to x. Yan, wherein yung n natin is also equal to b raised to x. So ito lang yung parang equivalent niya. Okay? So if we determine the log of n base b, then your n here will be equal to also to b raised to x. Then we have the log of n. So base natin is e, or this is the Euler. So ln of n is equal to y. So ito substitute natin into a natural logarithm, that is ln of ln is equal to y, or that is n equal to e raised to y. So this is just the same. Yan. Okay, then we have the third one, that is ln of e raised to x is just equal to x, and e raised to ln of y is equal to y, and your 10 raised to log of x is equal to x. So these are some properties. So we have also the ln of x raised to n. So nilipat na, no? That is n ln of x. Okay. And so on. So this is in distributive property. Okay. Distributive property to. Okay. So ito naman, this is in multiplication. So we use the sum. Then dito subtract tayo. This is divide, no? Distributive lang. Next, so let's solve some examples. So we have here, determine the general value of the following. So we have ln of x, ang bar angle of 30 degrees. So first we convert into exponential. Okay. Convert muna natin into exponential para ma-evaluate to siya in a logarithmic form. So convert it into exponential. Then what Ano ginawa natin dito? So we proceed with the operations. Okay, so with the use of properties 7 and 3. Tingnan natin. Parang may mali. Tama ba? So, okay. So, tama, no? So, this is ln of 6e raised to j multiplied by pi over 6 plus 2 pi k. Okay. So, in-apply na natin yung natural logarithm dito. So, we take ln of both sides. So, in-ln natin yung both sides, or that is ln of 6 bar angle of 30 degrees is also equal to ln of 6e raised to j pi over 6 plus 2 pi quantity. Or that is equal to, ito na. Okay, so kinuha na natin yung ln of 6, that is 1.792. And then for this one, so ln of e, so ginawa natin dito is ln of 6 plus, since this is multiply, plus natin ln of e raised to j pi over 6 plus 2 pi. Okay. So, sineparate natin to. So, ito, equivalent niya is 1.792. And ito, using the properties. Okay, anong property to? Number 3, di ba? So, property number 3, ito. ln of e raised to x is just x na lang. Okay, so ln of e raised to j pi over 6 plus 2 pi k is just equal to j pi over 6 plus 2 pi k. So this will be your answer. Ito na yung answer mo. Yan. How about the second example? Ito. Okay, so this is in rectangular form. So ln of 1 plus j2 quantity raised to 4. So first, no, convert muna natin siya into polar form. Yan. So that is 2.236 ang bar angle of 63.43 degrees. Yan. Then convert natin into exponential form. So rectangular, wala pang exponent Wala pa yung 4 dito. Okay? And then nung in-ln na natin siya, nag-evaluate na tayo ng natural logarithm form niya. Kasi dapat naka-exponential form. Okay? So hindi ka makakapag-evaluate into natural logarithmic pag hindi naka-exponential form. So you need to convert rectangular form to polar, then polar to exponential. Okay? Then once you have your exponential form now, you can apply the exponent or the power. Ito na yung form. Okay, ito na yung form mo. Okay, and then with the use of property 6, okay, use the property 6, property 7, and property 3. So we now have 4. So inano natin siya. Ito yung power natin, di ba? Nilabas natin siya. List of ano ba to? Anong property to? Property 6 to. Okay? So property 6 is ln of x raised to n. Ito yung power mo. Is equal to n ln of x. So nilabas natin dito. So ito na yung n mo, ln of x. Okay? And then how about ito? This is ln of e raised to j 1.107 plus 2 pi k. So ln properties ano na rin? So property 7 and 3, no? So this is ito property number 3 to. Okay, property number 3 to. Yung ln of e raised to Tapos in-apply natin yung last property, in-apply natin is 7, which is in-add natin. And so now you will have 4 ln of 2.236 plus j for 1.107 plus 2 pi k. So the distributive property to 4 times ln 2.236, then 4 times j 1 point, kaya may 4 dito. Ayan. Then simplify natin, so that is 3.219 plus j 4.428 plus 8 pi k. So multiply lang din. 4 times 1.107, then times 2, so that is 8. And so ito yung final answer mo. Okay, so how about this one? Evaluate the following and express the final answer in polar form. Okay, so we have meron tayong tinatawag na, anti-lag ba yan? May tinatawag tayong anti-lag, di ba? So here we apply it to, that is, paano nga ma-convert yun? That is log of, di ba? I think dito siya sa properties. Nandyan ba? Log of y, let's say y yung natin. Wala. Andyan yung property number 1. Okay, so let's say we have log b. Then we have our y here. So this is just equal to b raised to x equal to y. So ito yung niya, ito yung property natin. Okay? So log base of bn is equals to x. Then yung n mo will be equal to b raised to x. So that is in property number 1. Ito. Okay, so the same lang siya dito. So we let n, okay? So we let n here. Wait. Kopyahin ko na lang yung we will copy the property number 1. Log b. Okay, so that is log b raised to, log b n is equals to x. So therefore yung n natin is equals to b raised to x. B raised to x. Yan. So we let n here, that is log base 1 minus j multiplied by 1 plus j square root of 3. Okay, so if we take the anti-log on both sides, so gagamitin natin yung properties. So that is 1 minus j raised to n. Okay, so ito pa lang siya. Kinonvert natin. That is equal to, ito, that is equal to 1 plus j square root of 3. And then we take the natural logarithm on both sides. So inantay lang natin to yung both sides nito. Okay, so ito n is equals to ito. So inantay lang natin yung n, tsaka inantay lang din natin to. Okay, so matitira is 1 minus jn. So this is in property number 1. Property number 1. And then ito, saan ba to? Bakit nagganyan na lang? So matitira na lang dito is yung x niya. So the same, no? Wait, tingnan ko log of e raised to n number 2 to. So property number 2 dito sa kabila. And then we take the natural logarithm on both sides. That is ln of 1 minus j raised to n equal to ln of 1 plus j square root of 3 quantity. Then we apply the property number 6 again. Okay, yung exponent mo is lalabas natin. That is ln or n ln of 1 minus j equal to, so dito lang natin in-apply yung property number 6 sa left side. Ayan. And equal to ln of 1 plus j square root of 3. Then what happened here is we divide both sides, no? So 3 transpose, parang 3 transpose natin yung kabila para yung matira is yung n. Ito yung hinahanap natin. Okay? That is n equal to ln of 1 plus j square root of 3, then divided by ln of 1 minus j. So how can we divide this one? So we need to convert it into polar form. Diba? Kasi pag polar form, madali lang. I-divide na natin yung magnitude, tapos yung angle nila in degrees, isasubtract lang natin. Yan. But in this case, no, so kinonvert natin into polar form, and then we cannot proceed with the logarithmic pag hindi naka-exponential. So we convert it again. Okay, so we convert it from rectangular to polar, then from polar to exponential, and then from exponential, you can now evaluate it using the natural logarithm. Okay, so we took the ln of 2 plus ito property number 3 to. So we use again the property 3 and 7. So 7 is di-divide tayo. Therefore magsasubtract, no. That is ln of 1.414 minus j 0.785. Ayan. So ito na yun. We have now the rectangular form. But yung hinahanap natin is in polar form. So ito na yung convert natin into polar form. Okay. So that is, ayan. Then we divide using the operations of complex number. So you now have 1.464 angle of 122.71. But yung n natin kanina is equal to, ito, nag-let lang tayo kanina eh. Diba? So ito siya. Therefore, yung answer natin is, ito na yun. Okay, so sinubstitute na natin or binalik na natin, which is the value of n. That is 1.464 angle of 122.71 degrees. Yan. Okay, so how about this one? Number 4. Number 4, letter B pala. That is 3 plus J4 raised to 3 plus J4. So the same, no? So we let again n as 3 plus J4 raised to 3 plus J4. Okay, so take note that hindi to naka-exponential form, no? So we need to identify which properties of logarithm that we will be using. Okay, so here we let n is equal to 3 plus J4. So this is in property number 1 again. And then we take the natural logarithm of both sides and we apply the property number 6. Okay. And then since this is in rectangular and in polar form, so we need to convert it into exponential form before we can proceed with the operation of natural logarithm. Okay, so here we convert into polar form. Ito. And then ito, convert natin into exponential form para ma-evaluate natin using the natural logarithm. Then i-apply natin yung property 7 and 3. So as is pa rin to. So we the same pa rin, no? So that is ln of n equal to 5 angle bar angle of 53.13. So this is now your ln of 5 plus j 0.927. Okay, so sineparate to Ito lang yung in-apply natin ng ano. Ito lang yung in-applyan natin ng property 7 at 3. Okay. So ln of 5 plus ln of e raised to j 0.927. Shortcut lang to. Yan. Or ito yung ginawa natin yung we applied the property number 3. So ito na siya. Yan. Then proceed with the operations. So that is ln of n equal to the same. So ln of 5 is 1.857 and this is in j 0.927. 9 to 7. So, anong nangyari dito? What happened here? So, kinuha muna natin yung ln of 5. Tapos, you will now have your rectangular form, di ba? So, ln of 5 plus j, 0.927. Then, we convert it into polar form. Yan. Then, since this is in polar form then, we can proceed with the multiplication operation. So, multiply natin yung magnitude, that is 5 times 1.857, that is 9.285. And then yung angle natin i-add natin, that is 53.13 degrees plus 29.95 degrees. So, you will have your 83.08 degrees. Then, proceed with conversion again. Okay, convert natin ulit into rectangular form. Then, we will take the anti-log of both sides. So, how we can get the anti-logarithm of both sides? So, convert natin into exponential form. Okay, so we convert it into exponential form. So, here, take note, if the base of natural logarithm is not given, okay, so considered, no? It is understood to be E. Pag walang base, yung ln natin sa given, so it is understood to be merong E yan. So therefore, we have E raised to ln of n that is equal to E raised to 1.119 plus J 9.217. So anong property yung ginamit natin dito? That is property number 4. Tama ba? Hindi. Iba, no? Iba. So we use the okay, so we have the base E, di ba? We have the base E, so we have the notation of ln. Yung sa example natin kanina, that is log base of E raised to Z, that is ln of Z. Ayan. So that is, ito na siya. So with the use of property number 4, so tama ba? Oo, tama, no? Property number 4 yung ginamit natin. We can evaluate that n now is just equal to E raised to 1.119 bar angle of 9.217 multiplied by, ito naka radians. Okay, so convert natin to degrees. So that is 528.09 degrees. Ayan. Okay. So we now have 3.062. So E raised to 1.119. Ito siya. Sa calculator nyo, ano to yung Euler, yung alpha, then yung E na italic sa calculator. Okay, so this is now your polar form. But we let kanina, di ba? Nag-let tayo ng n is equals to 3 plus j4. So therefore, yung equivalent ng n natin is just equal to ito. So this is now your answer. Okay, so from here, no, let tayo. So we use the variable n here to be this value. Then balik natin siya. So the same process lang. Yan. Okay, questions, clarifications with our discussion before we end our meeting. Mayara, questions? May wala na intindihan? Wala? Sana naintindihan? Sige. So I will post your I will give your prelim in advance para may 1 week ka muna na time to solve. Okay, so I will give your prelim exam later siguro around noon. So i-post ko siya sa sa Neo LMS. Download nyo lang ang Okay, so I will stop here. Download nyo lang yung examination paper, then answer nyo yung separate, no? paper. Okay? Then you submit it before due date. Yung exam naman natin is start tayo sa March 21. No? So, exam natin is March 21 to 25. So, you need to submit it before due date. No? That is siguro March 22. Ayan. Or 24. Okay? So, wala na? So, concerns? Wala concerns? Wala? So, I guess that's it, no? So, I'll stop recording na.